No, but I have a lot of experience in women's football in Ireland, so there's continuity from previous roles, which help to hit the ground running. So I'm feeling super positive. Got a good team of staff now in place, good group of girls. So full focus is on Saturday and the first game ever in the Aviva Stadium.
You look at the injury list and then the squad list, quite a few new faces in
Yeah.
there, quite a few of the regular players still coming back from injury. How has that been, just weighing up your options in terms of who you're going to bring in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously injuries impact, the decisions that you can make. But what we've done is, went through the whole Irish talent pool, and you deal with what squad you can pick from, and that's what we've done. But in terms of the greater plan and qualifying for 2025 for the Euros, now is the time where we have to start looking at younger players and mixing that experience and giving them experience as well, instead of a retrospective plan when we get to 2025. So that's actually what we've done. Yes, we had to deal with quite a few injuries, but the overall plan would have still been to bring in some young talent and aim to transition them through, so we're ready for 2025 as well.
It's been an eventful couple of weeks in general, to say the least, and some of the criticism coming from the public specifically about players speaking out, like Diane's comments yesterday, or everything that happened post World Cup, is that a manager won't want to come into this setup, or that it might put them off. How would you respond to that as the manager that has come in yourself?
Yeah, I would say that I think this is a really privileged role to come into, that women and girls football in Ireland is really growing at an exponential rate, that the team has huge potential, that the federation are offering all support. So I think it's quite an attractive role for a manager to take up, and there's a great group of girls there. People have opinions, like we see, players, the public, coaches, and this is what it is. So I would, have no doubt that there'll be a lot of applicants for this role.
And did you talk to the players about that when you came in, about how they might be feeling after the last camp, and thoughts and opinions, or maybe even things that they struggled with, and that they were like, okay, well maybe this is a new management coming in, and we can have this conversation and do things a little differently?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no escaping the elephant in the room, or what's gone on, or the noise that's around the camp. So we had a brief discussion on it, but the focus is on the performance in this Nations League campaign. The immediate focus is on Saturday. Introduction of new staff, ways we're moving forward. So that's where we've placed most of the emphasis, and really, having a positive vibe around the place.
Northern Ireland also have a relatively new coaching setup, but quite an interesting coach in Tanya Oxtoby. Obviously, she worked with Chelsea, and she's had a really interesting career herself. What has it been like for you, planning going up against her and against this Northern Ireland team?
Yeah, I mean, we're in our planning now. We have the squad selected. So yeah, Tanya comes in. She's a wealth of experience across the professional game, but we will look at our capabilities within our squad, their capabilities within theirs, and then we'll prepare, towards both of those. Yeah.
Eileen, Diane was incredibly honest yesterday in her appraisal. Like, did you have any sense that either her or any of the other senior players just wanted to get some of this stuff off their chest? Did you see that was coming?
Yeah, look, players are going to express themselves all the time. We've all worked with players, so we know players have opinions, and rightly so. It's their game, it's their performances, it's how they feel they want to move forward. So a player having an opinion is not a new thing, and that's, we're hearing plenty of opinions now, so a player having one is not at odds with human nature.
One of the things she said was that Ireland had achieved what they had in spite of Vera's coaching. That seemed quite a harsh statement, and as a coach, how would you?
Yeah, and look, it's not for me to get into Diane's opinion or what Diane has said. Like I said, players have opinions, people have opinions, they're entitled to that, but we're not focusing on anything around that. We're just, as I said, focusing on moving forward.
Can I just ask about the squad then? And Tyler Toland is back in almost
Yeah.
4 years
Yeah.
since we've seen Tyler. What led to that decision to bring her in and give her another chance?
Yeah, well, look, Tyler has been a young player in our talent pool for many years, right through our youth system. She's gone off, she's played in a couple of professional clubs, a number of professional clubs, Glasgow, Glasgow City, Celtic, Levante, and now she's with Blackburn Rovers. She hasn't had the game time that she would have wanted, or consistent game time. Now she's in a club where she's playing the championship, she's playing at a decent level, she's playing 90 minutes week in and week out. So for us it's a football decision. For us it's, exhausting the talent pool. For us it's transitioning young players through. And Tyler is now playing consistently, which gives us a greater insight into our performance and our potential. So it's purely a football decision, and that's why Tyler is, back in the squad.
And can I ask who selected the squad? Was it yourself, conjunction with a few other people?
Myself and the staff. Yeah.
When you say the staff,
The new coaching staff,
the new coaching
technical staff.
Colin.
Yeah.
And then just on a personal level, I know you've said your other role as the head of women's football is your dream job.
Mm-hmm.
This is another landmark moment on Saturday. So just for yourself, what will that mean, and how do you see things growing and improving even further in the next couple of years?
Yeah, well, in terms of the first part, what does it mean for me? Who doesn't want to represent their country? I've been in women's football for 30 years in Ireland by choice. When people that ask, why didn't you go away? It's because I love Irish football, and at the core I'm Irish, and that passion and that pride, we all felt it when the World Cup was on. We all had the goosebumps when Iran Aviva played in a packed out stadium in Sydney and a packed out stadium in Perth, and we'll have that same feeling on Saturday. And the feeling that those players gave to everybody throughout the World Cup and the build up to it, the historic qualification, the historic performances, during it, and the support from people, that's what we'll have again on Saturday in the Aviva. And that's what I'll be super proud of. And leading that team out in the second part of the question, the head of women's football is the dream, the job. And I'm in here to help in the interim basis and to provide continuity and stabilise the ship and progress that for the new manager to come into. But for me, the overarching role and that more strategic role about how we develop and grow the game is really important to me.
Do you think being in that overarching role the last while has given you a different perspective on coaching and approaching coaching?
Yeah, it's how we align to how we want to develop players and pathways, and how we increase participation, how we affect retention of young girls at specific ages, how we provide opportunities for all women to play, recreational, for pathways to professional, pathways to amateur. So for me, women going out and having a five-a-side is totally enjoyable. A young player trying to reach her potential, whether that's elite national level, whether it's international level, whether it's wanting to play at professional level. And it's also the integration of education and development for the person. So, that's quite a real priority for me, how we integrate all of those.
There were images over the weekend of the GA from others, everyone out.
It's brilliant.
That sort of thing,
It's
yeah.
brilliant because, grassroots is the heart of the game. And we want to make sure that all those young girls, have an opportunity to play, regardless of motivation, regardless of level, and whether they want to play pro or whether they want to have a kick around. That's what our role is to provide the opportunity, and to also, know when we have a talented player, how we manage them, how we identify them, and how we progress them. So, yeah.
So Jonathan Hill was saying last week there was 31 people reviewed as part of the World Cup review. Were you one of those people who would have been spoken to? Or
I wasn't anything part of any reviews or decision-making processes.
Because the reason being, like you were saying about continuity, but it seems clear from the players' point of view, like they've been looking for change. Obviously the FAI have now agreed. So what's needed then? Well, how does that change come about in terms of how the team plays, or what's going to be demanded?
Yeah, well, we talk about continuity. I'm talking about my familiarity with the Irish landscape, with the squad, with the talent pool that we have and experience then within the game. So in terms of moving forward, everything we're doing now is reflective of what we want the pathway to look for. So it's aligned to our broader pathways for the development of girls, women and girls in football in Ireland. In terms of a specific style, what's going to happen on Saturday, everybody wants more goals, everybody wants us to do this, but what we have to work with is the squad that we have, with the capacities within that squad and the opposition we're playing against.
And one of the points you made about Tyler was the football decision that the people who chose it, reading between the lines or maybe picking up would that mean that other decisions were made for not football reasons? We know there was issues between Vera and with Tyler in the past or other players. Is that something that maybe is also was at play?
No, and what I'm at pains to stake is our football decision around picking Tyler is mutually exclusive to anything that's gone on before with Vera. So if you're picking on something in between the lines, that's up to you as your interpretation. But what I'm clearly saying is that Tyler's selection is based on a football decision. It's based on our increased minutes within our club, or more consistent availability, and then more for us to watch.
Can I just ask I know your focus is on the 22 players for this Saturday, but there's potentially 22,000 future players in the crowd.
Yeah.
How do you divide your headspace between the day job of focusing on that and this interim job now?
Yeah, I think in the immediacy I'm in here for 10 days in a camp, but there's never a separation in my head from it, because the output from 30,000 people, the girls driving the game forward on Saturday, is high visibility, increased participation. So none of it is in isolation. So my role as the head of women's football, part of this driving visibility, increasing fandom, that's all layered in and integrated. So my headspace is definitely not separated. Physically I'm here, but the women and girls game is an overarching aim.
You say it's a very attractive proposition. You don't see yourself so in it in a permanent capacity?
I'm in here in the interim, and I'm very happy to be in here in the interim and, working with the girls and working with the team and driving the game forward. But in the broader picture, as Rob has just asked there, increase in participation, opportunities for girls to play, and beyond that, opportunities for women to be across the whole football ecosystem in different roles, to be in decision-making roles, to be in leadership roles. That's what I want. I want to see all the women, right? More women. That's what we want. We want them in leadership roles, and as the time goes on and, we develop that role and develop what the aims are, you'll see what that looks like. And as a final point, Emma coming in is, a step towards that, capturing those women that are already available, providing opportunities for them, and that's exactly what we've done with bringing Emma in as well.
Great, thanks.
Should the permanent manager be a woman? Is that something she involved?
That's, like I said, I'm not involved in that decision-making processes. I'm not going to commit to anything on that one.